Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year to you. We are now in the first week of 2022, and hopefully, we're looking at a better year than the previous two. But why not kick this year off with a walkthrough of how to create a WordPress child theme? And this is such a powerful feature to know how to do if you are in the realm of web development, or if you just manage a few sites for some customers or just for your own website. A child theme gives you the ability to make and edit and customize your theme files, and any future updates to the parent theme will not override those edits. Now, I'm going to actually show you two different ways of how to do this. I'm going to show you the hard way, and then I'm going to show you the easy way. Now, if you're like me, I like to know both, because sometimes the easy way can get stuck or not function properly, and you have an alternative to get it done. Now, you are able to ask questions in the chat here, and not to hold up this process, I'm not going to go through and answer questions during this, but at the end, I'll leave some time to answer these questions, and we can roll through this pretty quickly. I would encourage everybody to stay tuned, because at the end of this, I'm actually going to share a link for next week's episode to register. And next week's episode's really fun and something I really love to talk about, which is how to block malicious visits to your website. Okay, won't get too into detail there. Excuse me. So let's dive into creating a WordPress child theme. Let's do the hard way first. Now, the hard way will require you to have either access to your hosting environment, so you can access the files of your theme, or you can use FTP access. I'm going to be using FTP access to walk through this process. So just going to minimize my screen here. So I'm already connected to the website that we're going to be working on, which is this test site that I fired up here. It's just a plain basic install of WordPress, a few menu items, because I'm going to talk about transferring those later to the child theme. And if we go into the themes area, let me share my screen here. Sorry, everybody. Let me get my screen, because you're not seeing what I'm seeing. All right. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. We have a default WordPress install. And in the admin area, if I head over to themes, you will see that there is one theme installed. And we are going to create a child theme of this parent theme. And we're going to do this the hard way first. The level of difficulty is probably about a 6 out of 10. And for those advanced users, it's probably a piece of cake for you. But wait until I show you the easy way. All right, so the first step of the process is we're going to want to connect to the server where these files are located. I already am connected here using an FTP application called FileZilla. And this is the file structure for this WordPress install. I'm going to navigate to the themes folder. And you can see in here we have that one theme that's installed. I'm going to create a new directory or folder, and I'll just call it child theme, but you can name this anything that you'd like. You'll see it's going to create a new folder there. I'm going to go into that folder, and let me just open up a new text file. Okay, so I'm on a PC. My text file of choice is Notepad, but I'm not sure what it is for Mac, but any text editor will be fine. And you're going to open up a blank sheet, and you're going to paste information that looks like this. And I will share this handout with you that actually walks through all of these steps. Let me drop the handout here for you. So as I'm going through this, you can also download this So if you tab over to the handout section of this webinar, you can download this PDF, which is going through all the things I'm going to explain here today. But let's go back to our text editor. I've added this in here. This would be the name of your child theme, the author name, the author URL. We'll just put something in here. The child theme description. You can add a version number. The version is not mandatory, but if you wanted to put a version number in there, you can. And this is the important part, okay? It will not work unless you get this part correct. So you need to have the template name, which is going to be the folder path of your parent theme. So in this case, the folder that the parent theme resides in is called 2021. So this is going to be our template name. So I'm just going to copy that, go back to my text file, paste that in there. Let me get rid of all these extra spaces here. Keep it nice and clean. And once we have the information to our liking, we would simply save this as style.css. Okay, I'm going to save that. It is on my desktop now here. And there's one more file that we need to create to drop into our child theme. Let me just check in on you guys, make sure everything's going well. Okay, great. All right, so let's go back to our text editor. Let's erase this here. And we're going to drop in some PHP code now. There we go. And again, this is in that PDF that I shared with you. So you don't have to remember this. Not likely that you would. I do this often and I don't even remember this code. Now, once we drop that in there, we don't have to make any changes to it. And we're going to save as, and this one is going to be called functions.php. We'll save that. And let me just drag it over here. All right, so let's go back to our FTP connection. Let's go into the child theme folder and let's drop in those two files that we created. And let's take a look now at the themes page of our install here. Let's reload this. Haha, look at that. We now have a new theme in there. And you can see if we click on it, there's the author name. The link that I made went to my website. Version, name, description. It tells you it's a child theme of 2021. The only thing we're missing here is an image, right? And we want to keep things looking pretty. So it's very simple to add an image. Let me just close that down. I already have one created here. You can create your own image. So I'm just going to drop that into our child theme folder. You see, we're in our child theme folder. And let's go back to our themes page, reload. Look at that. We have our child theme fully created, customized to our liking, and it is pulling all of the styles and PHP files from the parent theme as soon as we activate it. So if I activate this, there we go. Now let's load the site. Look at that. Still looks like the same site. Now the advantage of this is when we want to edit any of the files inside of the parent theme, for example, if we wanted to edit, let's edit the header. Okay, what do we want to do to the header? Let's see. All right, so we have, I actually already have a custom edit in there showing the time, but so let's say that we wanted to take this out. We would go into the header. We would open this up in our favorite text editor. There's our header here. Oh, actually, so this one is loading another template deeper in. So this is loading template parts, header, site header. So let's go there. Template parts, header, site header. Let's download that file. And it goes in even deeper. So let's go header site branding. Sorry if I'm losing you here, but I just want to show you how I'm going to edit one file and drop it in the child theme. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is that custom function that is showing the timestamp up in the header. I'm going to remove that function, save the file. Now, instead of dropping this file back into the parent theme, we're going to drop it into the child theme, and this will ensure that any future updates to the parent theme will not override this edit. So we just need to take note of what path this file resides in on the parent theme. And I'm just going to copy that path. I'm going to go back to my child theme. Let's go in there. And now we need to create that path. So I'm going to create that directory that I just copied. Extra slash in there, get rid of that. So child theme folder, then another folder, template part, excuse me, and then header. If I create that, it's going to create those folders. And now I can drop that file that I edited in there. And now watch what happens. So if we reload this, that timestamp's gone. And this is awesome because any edits that we make to these PHP files, or in most cases, the style sheet of our theme will not be overridden when the parent theme is updated. So this ensures that as updates happen to your parent theme, you can update with peace of mind, knowing that any customization that you've made to the design of your theme files or your style sheet will not be overridden by the update. Okay, now there are some downsides of doing it the hard way. In some cases, it does not move over your menu items. Based on how the theme has been developed, it may not move over the menu items that you have set up. Okay, in this case, we didn't have that problem. But in some themes, it will not do that. The other thing it will not move over is if you have a bunch of settings in the customizer area and you create the child theme like we just went through, some of these settings will not be transferred over to your child theme. And then the last thing that could be difficult with doing it the way we just walked through would be if you had any widgets that were set up. These, in some cases, on certain parent themes, will not transfer over with the process that we just did. Now, there are plugins out there that you can get for free that will download your menu settings, your widget settings, and your customizer settings and allow you to import those. But this is a lot of extra work. And like I said in the beginning, I did want to show you the easy way and the hard way. Now, before I go on to the easy way, is there any questions that you might have about the hard way? Why wouldn't it move the menus over? Okay, good question, Gary. So the great thing with WordPress is that it is an open source platform, and there are tons of brilliant developers out there creating themes and plugins to enhance the functionality of how we use it for our website. The bad news is not all code is developed equal. So I just walked through the process of creating a child theme using FTP access. And in this case, everything did transfer over: the menus, the widgets, and the customizer settings, because the parent theme that I was duplicating was 2021, which is the default custom theme that WordPress created. So this is well coded, and you're not going to run into any issues of data copying over when you activate the child theme. But I have seen so many times when a child theme is created this way and then is activated on the themes page that the settings do not transfer over. So with that said, let's walk through the easy way to do it, right? not only is it going to take less time, but you will be able to do all of the stuff I just did without running into any issues of data being transferred over to the child theme. Okay. Are there any more questions on the hard part? Okay. If you come up with a question, just throw it in the chat and then I'll circle back. I'll answer that for you. All right. Let's do the easy way. Now, before we do the easy way, let us activate the parent theme because I'm going to delete this one that we just created. Bye-bye. Okay. The easy way. And the easy way to do most things in WordPress is find the right plugin. And believe me, if you don't think it exists, I guarantee it does. All right. So let's go into plugins. And I can just tell you that over the years I've been working with WordPress, I am amazed about the plugins that I find all the time that I didn't know existed. So there's a plugin for everything. I guarantee it. So we'll head over to our plugins page. We'll click on add new. Gary, I see your question. I'll circle back to it. Don't worry, I'll get there. And let's just type in child theme. Spell it fully. All right. There are several plugins that will do this for you. And you can see what comes up. There's tons. And I mean, there's probably some that are not even on this first page. But as you can see, there are tons of plugins that you can use for free that make it really easy. You don't have to worry about FTP access or walking through all those steps, creating style sheets and function files. Let's do it the easy way. Now, the plugin I like to use and use often, at least a couple times a week, is Child Theme Configurator. And the reason I like this one, it has all the options of creating your author URL, the child theme description, name. It also gives you the option to move all of your menus and your customizer settings so you don't lose any of that data when you activate the child theme. Okay, get on with it, Jarrett. Let's install it and let's activate it. And when we do that, we will have a new menu item under child themes. Okay, let's just click on that. Now it asks you which parent theme to analyze. We only have one theme in here. Let's just add another theme here. So let's add, when is 2022 coming out? Not there yet. Okay, let's add that. Let's add that. Let's add that. Now let's go back to our child themes menu. And by the way, if you have a bunch of inactive themes on your website, please delete them. This is a massive security concern. There are so many times where I log into people's websites and I see they have like 20 inactive themes, and it's a huge security risk. So just delete them. In most cases, all you should have is the default WordPress theme in case anything goes wrong, your parent theme, and your child theme. So 3 themes and 3 themes only. All right. That's a huge takeaway right now. But just for the purpose of this, I want to show you how this plugin can analyze the theme that you wish to create a child theme for. Let's analyze. Let's do Astra. Okay. So we're going to analyze Astra. It's going to ask what we would like to name the folder that these child theme files are going to be dropped into. And would we like to use the primary style sheet or a separate style sheet? You can leave this on primary. A lot of these settings, the default is more than sufficient. You do not have to add parent style sheet handling. And down here is where you can add all your attributes. Okay, child theme name, theme URL, author URL, theme description, and then some theme tags. I actually never add theme tags. Those are useful when your theme is hosted in the WordPress directory, but when you're creating a child theme, tags are not really relevant. I'm not sure why they have this in here. And then a version as well. If you want to keep track of updates that you do to your child theme, versioning is very powerful. And then this last step, 8, this is important here. So this is the part where you can transfer the data of your menus, widgets, and customizer settings, and you'll see that it actually says that here. And you also notice the big important warning that I just mentioned earlier, that some parent themes will have difficulty copying over data, but in most cases, this will send it over, no problem. If I just want to give you some side information here, there are several plugins for free. Let's do customizer backup. I'm not spelling it right. Still not spelling it right. Customizer export. Let's do that. There you go. So this one right here, customizer export import, free plugin, which will allow you to download your, I can just show you real quick because everything is loading lovely. So this will give you an option in your customizer to import and export the settings. And there's free plugins for widgets and menus as well. Menu export. Right here, WPS menu exporter. There's widget export. Like I said, there's a plugin for everything, and most of them are free. So take advantage. But in most cases, with this child theme configurator, this step 8 checked will do all of the magic for you. Okay. And if you are a nervous Nelly like I am when creating new themes or making adjustments to people's websites or even your own website, it's always great to run a backup, right? And if you want to ask me a question on the best way to do that for free, I'm more than happy to answer that as well. So, all right, we went through our steps. We have everything set up the way we want. We'll just click on create new child theme. It's going to go through the child theme is functioning correctly. That's good news, right? All right, so let's go over to our themes page. You can see now we have Astra Parent and we have Astra Child. If we activate Astra Parent, let's see what it looks like as a parent. There's our Astra Parent. Oop, going too fast here, sorry. Astra Parent, and then we have our Astra Child. And let's reload. And you will see that it looks the same. It carried over all the menus. Of course, there were no settings because we actually just set this up. But this is the easy way to do it, okay? So child theme configurator, free plugin. There is nothing you need to pay for. Super powerful for creating your child theme in a matter of seconds. And this is just best practice. You should never be running on a parent theme when you see how easy it is to create a child theme. And then any future updates that you need to initiate on the parent theme, you don't have to get worried or anxious about those updates because it will not erase any custom files that you've created because you put those files into your child theme. That is it. I do want to take any questions. Let's look at Gary's question here. Okay. So Gary says, but what if your child theme is using everything from the main theme except the things we choose to override? I'm having a hard time understanding what might cause this to happen. If this is too much to explain here, I understand. Okay, so your child theme is using everything from the main theme except the things you over. And that's the whole purpose. The only things that you would put into the child theme would be the edits that you make to the parent theme files. Okay. So like in the example I did, let me just turn that theme back on. So in this example, there's a timestamp in the parent theme file, right? And I edited that file. Oh, I actually deleted. I'm sorry. Let's create a child theme again because I actually deleted that theme that I made. So you are not going to work for me now, huh? All right, let's delete all of our child themes. Mike, there will be a replay, and I will send this out for you personally to make sure you can watch it. Thank you for joining. Happy New Year. Okay, let me just delete all these themes and show you again, Gary, why it's important to make your edits and drop them in the child theme. Okay, let's just analyze that. Let's create our child theme. Let's make sure it is active. All right, so if I reload this, the child theme is now using all of the resources from the parent theme, okay? And when I say that, it is all of the files in the parent theme that are being loaded, even though it's the child theme that's active. But as you saw, our parent theme has some code in it that's displaying a timestamp on top of the logo. Now, I want to edit that code and remove that timestamp. But if I did this in the parent theme, next time the parent theme has an update, my custom edit is going to be erased. So if I edit the file that is displaying this timestamp and then drop it in my child theme, we're good to go. Okay, you understand all that. So if you create a new functions PHP file, style.css file, and the image file, why wouldn't the menu items come over from the parent theme? Well, as I stated before, and we can go back and you can read the actual disclaimer here, not all themes are coded the same. There's good code and there's bad code. And in some cases, some premium themes do not support that data transfer. And that's why the use of this plugin can come in handy, because it will do a better job of moving that data over. But if you are still worried about all the data being transferred to the child theme, that's when you can use the customizer exporter, the menu exporter, and the widget exporter. And you would export all of that data from your parent theme, activate your child theme, and then import all that data, and you're good to go. Let me know, Gary, if that doesn't answer the question, and I can clarify. And we got Jonathan here. I have been using Page Builder Framework to build my child theme and build with Elementor. Can you comment on themes like this one? Oh, man, Jonathan, I'm so glad you asked that question. Page Builder Framework is by far one of the best themes I've ever come across. It's the exact theme that we use on our website. You wouldn't even know it. It's the theme that we recommend to everybody. It is very streamlined. It is very easy to work with. And as its name suggests, it actually is compatible with all of the popular page builders out there. You can create a child theme from Page Builder Framework. And the great thing with, let's actually just install it here. The great thing with Page Builder Framework, if you opt for the premium plugin that they offer, I think it's $59 a year for unlimited websites. It does give you white label options to actually rename everything to your brand or your customer's brand. You can rename the parent theme. You can create a child theme, rename that. You can rename the name of the plugin. This is an amazing theme. It is absolutely free too. The premium plugin does give you some extra options, and for $59 a year, it's definitely worth it. But what an amazing theme. That's cool. And that is the theme that we use on our own website. And it's also the theme that we use for our Google Page Insights service to guarantee good scoring with Google Page Insights. All right, other questions. Okay. So we actually were on Divi until about, I think, March of last year. We were on Divi for about 5 years, and Divi's great. Divi is a great platform. It makes creating content and adjusting content very easy to do. The downside of Divi is very script heavy. It is very bloated because it is very feature and function rich. Now they did do a big enhancement to all of their scripts to streamline it and get it more in line with Google Core Web Vitals. And it's gotten much better. I mean, I never like to encourage somebody to stop using something that they enjoy and they're familiar with. Divi is an amazing company, great support. So if you're happy with it, stick with it. Okay, Paul, side question. Is there a plugin that tells me which installed plugins are not being used? Good question. So just to clarify, it's not really on webinar topic, but it's okay. I love answering questions. So to clarify, you're looking to find a plugin to tell you that if it's active, is your website using it? Is that correct? Because obviously if it was just turned off, then your website's not using it, right? There's not a plugin that I can think of off the top of my head. I could do some research. I would think the actual scripting behind that would be very difficult, but there is something that actually, I have something off the top of my head that you could use. There is a plugin called Assets. If I'm spelling it right here, Assets Cleanup. And when we activate this, let's just go into a page here. When we go into the page editor, it gives us an assets meta box below our content, and it will tell you the files that are loading on this page from all the plugins, the theme, and the WordPress core files. So if you load up this page and you can track down, like for example, there's not a lot of plugins installed on this website. So let me turn some plugins on. So let me install Woocommerce, which we know is massive in script. If we install that, I hope everybody else is finding this useful too, but it's not really child theme topic. But okay, so we activated Woocommerce. Let's reload this page editor. And you see it's fetching the resources. Okay, from plugins, you'll see now source and WooCommerce is loading on this page. So you can find which plugins are being loaded on each page. I guess an easier way to do this, besides using Assets Cleanup, is just turn a plugin off and navigate your website and see if you're missing functionality. I mean, that's the best case. But I hope that answers your question. Okay, before I wrap up, I'll just leave another moment for any additional questions. And remember, when I end this episode, there's going to be a link to next week's episode, which is even more valuable than this week. I'm going to be talking about how to block malicious visits to your website. And this is such an important thing, especially now because hacking is on the rise and malicious activity on the web is on the rise. And you want to make sure that all of the traffic that's coming to your website is legit. You don't want bots. You don't want hackers. So next week's episode is going to be that. And there will be an episode every Wednesday at 10 a.m. So, all right. Any other questions? We'll give it like 30 more seconds and then we'll wrap this up. And I appreciate everybody joining this morning. Again, I want to wish everybody a happy and prosperous new year, 2022. Let's get at it, right? Thank you, Gary. Thanks for the great questions. Hopefully it shed some light on some things that you were stuck on in WordPress. All right, we're just going to wrap up here. Thank you again. Hope to see all of you next week. Oh, wait, can't next week. All right, Rick, you better be there the next week after. All right, take care, everybody.